we will be looking at Apex governor limits, or we can say governor limits in Salesforce. So what are governor limits? Governor limits in Salesforce are used to ensure the effective use of resources on the Salesforce multi-tenant platform in order to execute the code efficiently. So Salesforce sets some limits, we can say, to ensure that no one acquires resources from others. Salesforce.com sets many restrictions that limit normal code executions. So as we know, Salesforce has to do this because of its multi-tenant architecture, where all organization and customers share a single resource. If one of the governor limits is not met, an error will be raised and the program will stop or hold. So if any governor limit is exceed, then there will be exception and the program will stop. So therefore it is important to ensure that our code is scalable and does not violate governor limits. These limits are called the single transaction basis, a single transaction execution. So you don't have to focus on the last statement which I have said. We don't have to cross the governor limit, because after crossing the governor limits, the execution of our program will stop. So in this video we will be looking at two example. I will be exceeding the governor limits and the program will stop executing if I cross the governor limit. So the first is here, you can see it is highlighted, total number of SOQL queries issued, and in synchronous, when we run the synchronous form of Apex, it is 100. So if I execute 101 SOQL queries in a single transaction, then the program will not allow me to do it. So let me do one thing. Let's create a class and let's write a Apex class and see it in example. So where is my developer console? Yeah, here, file, new, Apex class, test governor limit. So I am writing it as test governor limit because I am showing you that after crossing governor limits our code will stop executing. So this is the class I am writing, and let me name the function as public static void test limit. Let me do one thing. So the number of SOQL queries which we can issue in a single transaction and which are allowed are 100. So I will be issuing 100 SOQL queries first, and then I will be issuing more than 100 queries in a single transaction, and it will not allow me. So let's first do one thing. Let's have a for loop. So this is not the way, this is not the best practice, but to show you I am doing it. Let me store it in list. Yes, what is happening here? Account SEC, select ID from account. So this is the loop I am using, and you can see I have set the integer I from 0 to 100. So the loop will run 100 times, and for each value of I it will execute these SOQL queries and it will not show any error now. But after increasing the value from 100 to something more, it will give me some error or exception and the program will not work. So let's run it via our anonymous window, and let's do test governor limit dot test limit. Let's execute this section. So you can see that it is allowing me to have 100 SOQL query in a single transaction. But if now I increase the value from 100 to something called as 101, even if a single time I increase the number of SQL queries that can be performed in a single transaction, then it will raise an error and not let my program execute. So let's execute it once more, and it will throw an error like limit exception, and we have given too many SQL queries, which is not allowed in Apex. So this is one error which will happen. So the best practice is that we should not write this select statement or SQL queries inside a for loop. We should always write this outside for loop so that it will not give an error, because here we are only executing this line one time, and inside the for loop we are executing this line 101 times, and it is giving us an limit exception and stopping our program from execution. Now let's do one more thing. Let's see one more limit and understand it. So the next limit which I will be showing you is total number of DML statement which we can issue in a single transaction, and the limit is 150. So we can have 150, we can run 150 DML statement in a single transaction, and if we increase the value from 150 to something 151 or some more number, then it will stop us from executing. So let me do one thing. Let me comment it out, and I will be creating one account here. Account new, what is account ACC equals to new account, and name equals to some random account, and insert ACC. So it will allow, because I am only issuing one DML statement, and the DML statement is insert. So I am issuing insert operation on the account object, and it is only one account which will be created, so it will not give me an error and it will run successfully. So let me run it. So you can see that no error is given here, and I will also show that record is also created here. So what is the name of record which we have set here is some random account, and you can see some random account is created. But now let's do one thing. If we have a for loop and we are issuing this more than 150 times, then what will happen? So I will be giving 151, and let's copy paste. Let's also append I here. So the first account which will be created is if everything goes right, then it will be created duplicate value. Okay, let me erase it. Let's save it. So the first account will be created with the name as some random account space 0, and the last account which will be created is some random account 150 if everything goes right, if we are not exceeding the governor limits. So let's try it. Debug, open execute anonymous window and execute highlighted, and you can see that limit is exceeded because we are trying to have more than 150 DML statements in a single transaction, and the number of DML statement which we are issuing here is 151. So this is about governor limit. The best practice to do this type of operation is to write the DML statements after the for loop. So we can do it like this. List, let us create list account new list account. So I have created a list here, and I will be adding these all the records in this list. And after adding all the individual account in a list of account, after the for loop I will be running the, and now you can see we are only running one DML statement. But in the previous example, in the same video, in the previous example where we are doing 151 DML statements, now I am only doing one insert operation and it will allow me. So let's run this also, and it will also create 151 records here. So here you can see there are 7 records. So let's run it and execute. You see that there are no errors, and when I refresh this page there are 7 plus 151, it will show 158 records. So let's refresh it. So here you can see the records are created and the number are very high. These are the records created. So that's it. In this video we have seen what are governor limits, and I have also shown you the example of governor limit and the best practice to write the Apex code. So you should not write any DML statement inside a for loop or any loop, and also not write a SQL query inside a for loop, because by doing that you might exceed the governor limit, and this is not the best practice. To do that, you should always write the DML statements and SQL statements outside the for loop. That's it in this video. We will see some more problems or some more key concepts in the next video.